Okay, so the program that we're going to be talking about is the Master of Science in Secondary Education. We call it the MSSE. That's probably what I'll refer to it throughout the presentation. But in particular, today we are talking to English majors. So welcome, English majors. This is a PowerPoint that I typically give when I'm talking about the MSSE. But this I've tailored a little bit more to English majors, and because we're recording this for people, Dean, I know you're going to be graduating this year, so I will be talking to you about what that looks like for you, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about the Great Dane Teacher Pathway, which is a combined bachelor's master's that you're unfortunately not eligible for, but someone who might be watching the recording might be, so I am still going to cover that. But you're welcome to ask any questions once we're through. So first, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what it takes to become a teacher in New York State. The certification process in New York can be complicated, but our program really sets you up to become certified and be successful. So in New York State, you need both initial and professional teacher certification. So the initial certification is an entry-level certification. You earn that first. It can be earned at the undergraduate or the graduate level. At UAlbany, we don't have any undergraduate programs that certify at the undergraduate level. That is done through the MSSE, the master's program at the graduate level. Initial certification involves specific coursework that are designated by New York State Education Department. There are student teaching experiences, exams, fingerprinting workshops, all of that are part of our program. And then the final and permanent type of certification that you get in New York State is professional certification. This comes after you've got a master's degree and you earn 3 years of paid full-time teaching experience. And you have to earn that within 5 years of earning your initial certification. Now, the nice thing about earning your initial certification through a master's program is that you earn initial and you get the master's that you need for professional, so that when you graduate from one of our programs, you only have to teach for 3 years in order to become certified. Just a little bit about the job outlook for teachers right now. Jobs at the elementary school level are projected to grow about 7%, and then jobs as high school teachers, which is what this program certifies you in, middle and high school, are expected to grow 8% through 2030. And we are currently in New York State and in the country in what is considered a teacher shortage. So it's a good time to get into the field because jobs are readily available. State officials estimate that New York State will need 180,000 new teachers in the next decade. All areas are needed, but these are what are listed by New York State as those that are particularly in need. English being up there, a lot of the content areas for secondary ed, special education, bilingual education, these are all highly sought after positions. So the MSSE overview, this is an opportunity. It's a program for students who do not already hold a New York State teaching certificate. So great opportunity for UAlbany grads, because as I mentioned, we don't offer certification at the undergraduate level. So our graduates don't hold New York State teaching certification. So this is the perfect program for them. It is most typically completed full-time. It leads to initial certification and the master's needed for professional certification to teach a secondary subject, in this case, English, language arts, for grades 7 through 12. There are specific requirements for the program in each content area. For English, you just need a major or equivalent of English coursework. So having the English major means that you've met the prerequisite requirements to enter the MSSE. The coursework for the program consists of 12 credits in the foundations of education, 3 credits in technology and media in the classroom, 3 credits in literacy, 6 credits in your content area. So it's actually for English majors, it's actually 8 credits. It's 2 courses. So for some students, like let's say who are doing history, graduate history courses are 3 credits. So that's why it says 6 credits. Graduate English courses are 4 credits. So you take 2 credits or 2 courses for 8 credits in English. And then there are 18 credits in methods and field experiences. So that includes observation, classes that involve observation in a school, and your student teaching. What is the Great Dane Teacher Pathway? So the Great Dane Teacher Pathway is a combined bachelor's master's program that allows you to pursue accelerated admission to one of our approved graduate teacher preparation programs. It's not necessarily something you enter as a freshman. So a lot of students will be like, am I in the Great Dane Teacher Pathway right now? It's not a program that you enter into, but it's rather steps that you take during your time at UAlbany. You apply to the combined program. So you actually apply to the master's program in your junior year and start integrating graduate courses into your senior year. The graduate courses that you take double count toward both your undergraduate and your graduate degree. You earn teacher certification after completing the master's. So you don't earn certification in your undergrad through this pathway. You still earn it at the end of your master's program. What are some of the benefits of pursuing a combined program? So first, you'll be able to save money and reduce the course load in the graduate program. The 12 credits of graduate coursework that you're able to take in your senior year are billed at the undergraduate tuition rate. Graduate tuition is more expensive than undergraduate, so paying undergraduate tuition for graduate courses saves you money. Also, this is a 42 credit program. It's a 44 credit program because of the for English majors because of the difference in credit load for the English classes, but 44 credits for the program. If you've already completed 12 of them at the undergraduate level, that means you only have 32 credits to complete once you start the program. So you're paying 32 credits at the graduate level rather than 44. You reduce your course load in the graduate program. Obviously, like I said, you'll be taking 32 credits once you start the master's program full time. It doesn't reduce your time to graduation, but others in your cohort may be taking 9 to 12 credits and you'll be taking 6 to 9. You may even be able to take a summer off, whereas other students are taking courses during the summer. It helps to ease the transition to graduate school. So integrating a few graduate courses into your senior year gives you a great idea of what graduate school is going to look like so that when you do enter full time, you'll feel a little bit more prepared. There's early assurance that you have plans for graduate school. So you are applying in your junior year, by the end of your junior year, whether or not you've been accepted to graduate school. You get support from both your undergraduate advisor and a graduate advisor. So there are 2 people in your corner helping you to decide what coursework looks best and how to sort of navigate this combined pathway. And for the Great Dane Teacher Pathway, you graduate from the master's program with all of the educational requirements needed for teacher certification. For the Great Dane Teacher Pathway and the MSSE degree, you major in English. We recommend a minor in education or pre-education, but it's not required. And I can talk, if anybody's interested in one of the education minors, you can feel free to reach out. Like I said, the master's in secondary education leads to certification to teach grades 7 to 12 in English, apply in your junior year, take courses in your senior year, work with your advisor and the PI Center to plan courses. That's me, PI Center. And you may be able to take summers off or lighten the semester coursework throughout the program. This did just remind me that I didn't introduce myself. I've just been talking. My name's Alyssa Yesko. I am the director of the Pathways into Education, or PI Center. At the end of this presentation, I will have all of our contact information up on the screen, so you'll be able to know how to reach out if you have any questions. This is a degree plan for someone who may be considering, this is a sort of guidance document for someone who may be considering the Great Dane Teacher Pathway. It gives you a little bit of an idea of how you might be able to integrate coursework. So like where does the graduate level coursework fit into your degree program? For most English majors, that would be, we would be fitting graduate level courses into your electives because you would be taking education graduate courses. Now, this document is definitely subject to change, and we are actually working on changing this right now by adding another course option for combined students to take. So if this document is confusing at all, and it very well may be, please feel free to reach out to my office and we are happy to walk you through. Frequently asked questions about the MSSE. How long does this program typically take? The program lasts about 16 to 18 months, and it begins only in the summer or fall. So there is no spring admission. So students should keep that in mind when they're looking at deadlines. You start in either the summer or the fall, and typically includes 5 continuous semesters, including summers, with your last semester, which is always going to be the fall semester, focused on student teaching. So whether you start the program in the summer or the fall, you would graduate at the same time, but you would just be integrating more courses into your time if you start in the fall. So basically, by starting in the summer, you might knock out 2 courses. Pursuing the Great Dane Teacher Pathway does not shorten the time to graduation, but rather lightens the course load once you enter the master's full-time. This is a sample progression of how students move through the coursework. So in their first summer, they may take 2 courses. In the fall, they take a couple of education courses and an English course, a graduate English course, as well as a course that requires students to be in the school district observing a classroom for 100 hours total. Then in the spring, students are participating in part-time student teaching. So maybe 2 or 3 days a week in the classroom, student teaching in a middle school. And then they're taking 2 additional courses along with that. Their second summer, there are 3 courses listed, but those 3 courses include courses that could have been taken in the first summer. So some students may have all 3 of those to take if they didn't take courses in the first summer, but some students may only have 1 course to take in that summer. Those summer courses are sort of interchangeable between the first summer and the second summer. And then the last fall is when all students would graduate. It is full-time student teaching, so 5 days a week student teaching in the classroom. Can I complete the program part-time? The program is designed to be completed full-time. It may be possible to complete some of the coursework in the beginning of the program part-time, but as you'll see, once you start integrating student teaching, it becomes really difficult to be part-time because your student teaching courses have a high credit load, and it becomes difficult to work during that time because you're in a school during the typical workday. Also, keep in mind that some courses are only offered in the fall. Some courses are only offered in the spring, and some of them are prerequisites to one another. So if you haven't taken a prerequisite for a course, you may have to wait a whole nother year before it's offered again. So we do recommend that students stick to the plan of completing the program full-time, but we are willing to work with you. Just have the understanding that it may take you longer, anywhere from 2 to 3 years to complete the program if you do a part of the program part-time. How and when are courses offered? The program is not fully online, so there will be in-person courses, but depending on the semester and the course instructor, some courses may be offered online. Many of the courses that are offered either in person or synchronous online would be in the early evenings, mostly because we know that some of our students are spending time in the school during the typical workday. I sort of already went through the typical progression through the summer, fall, spring, summer, fall. And in what ways can I fund my graduate studies? There are university-wide scholarships. There are also School of Education specific scholarships that are offered each year. But for any questions about tuition, fees, aid, and payment plans, we do typically refer students to the Office of Financial Aid because it's not my area of expertise, and they are the best ones to help you to sort of figure out how to fund your graduate studies. Information for applicants. The application requirements are transcripts from all schools attended, 3 letters of recommendation with at least 2 from professors, a 3.0 GPA or higher, or a 3.2 GPA or higher for combined students, a statement of background and goals, and the prerequisite courses for your content area. But like I mentioned, as English majors, you guys would have all of the prerequisites. If you're thinking about applying for this year, either as a Great Dane Teacher Pathway combined student, or if you're thinking about starting this summer or fall after you complete your degree, the first deadline has already passed, and there is another deadline coming up March 1st. So you'll want to start working on your application ASAP if you have not done so already, to have it in by March 1st. At that point, you would be after the application deadline, you'd be contacted for an interview if the committee wants to pursue your application further. When sending in transcripts, as UAlbany students, you do not need to request a UAlbany transcript. But if you have been, if you have taken classes from other colleges or universities, even if they transfer to UAlbany, we need the transcripts from those institutions. Your GPA will be considered from all institutions and all levels. So if you've taken, I don't think anybody here would have taken any graduate level courses, but your GPA is sort of cumulative amongst all the institutions that you've attended. You can upload an unofficial transcript to your online application from other institutions, but official transcripts will be needed upon admission. Transcripts from other schools can be mailed to the graduate school or emailed from the institution to the graduate school. There are great instructions on where to send transcripts on the graduate school's website. Letters of recommendation are submitted directly through the online application portal that we have. We recommend that letters of recommendation be specific to the program that you are applying to whenever possible. And the reason that we request letters of recommendation from professors is to speak to your academic capabilities to be successful in a graduate program. We do have some students who have been out of school for a long time. This probably isn't the case for any students that I'm giving this presentation to. If you've been out of school for a long time and somehow are watching this recording, it is possible to get professional references. But we would still ask that they may speak to some of your academic capabilities and potential. The option to use professional references is not recommended if you're a recent graduate. It may cause the admissions committee to kind of pause and say, well, why aren't they able to get a letter of recommendation from a professor if they were just in school a month ago, or if they're currently in classes. Give your recommenders plenty of notice, as well as a hard deadline ahead of the application due date. So you will want your letters of recommendation submitted a little bit early, because you want to have that flex window so that you're not waiting until the last minute for someone to submit, and in case they forget, or in case they're running a little late. Your statement of goals or the written component of your application. For us, we want to determine your fit to the program. This is the purpose of the statement of goals in our eyes, to determine your fit for the program, what you can offer the program, and your statement of goals also allows us to evaluate your writing skills. For you, this allows you to highlight yourself, talk about yourself, highlight your background, your skills, and what you hope to get out of the program. Why did you pick this particular program? Your statement should be purposeful and to the point. Do your research on the program you are applying to. So you can take a look at our program website and read a little bit about it, and maybe mention the things that you like that are specific to this program. There are lots of helpful online resources to write a statement of goals, and the Career and Professional Development Office right here on campus can be a great resource to help you with writing a statement of goals if you've never done that before. Why choose UAlbany? You guys already have, because you are students here, but we've got great programs within the School of Education. We are ranked among the top 5 schools of education in New York, and among the top 5 online education programs in the United States, across the whole country. The reason I mentioned that is because even though this isn't a fully online program, there's a high likelihood that you'll take at least some online courses, and we offer some of the best. It's a great value as far as tuition and an investment in your future. UAlbany has been in the education game since they started. We actually started as a college for teachers. Small class sizes at the graduate level and a close connection to faculty. You get great support throughout the program from the time that you start to the time that you graduate. We have faculty and advisors to guide you through your program. You are never responsible for finding your own placement in schools. We find those for you, keeping in mind your interests and goals. And we have faculty and staff with working relationships with local schools and community partners. We have lots of great information on our website. So we have the MSSE program page. Oh, okay. I don't know what this is. Sorry. I would like to not have
it might just be a pre-screen, like it's trying to
start without my data. Let's do that. Okay, so this is and many of you may have already visited this page, but it gives you a good idea about our program. The other link that I have on that page is the graduate bulletin, which outlines all of the required coursework for the program down here. as well as, as well as all of the prerequisites for each content area. But of course, we already discussed for English, you just need the major in English. Then back to the presentation. And then the Pi Center is also a great place for information. That is my office. That is me with some pie in the Pi Center, which we are going to be having Pi Day again this year in March. So if you are interested in learning more and would like to eat some pie and have some coffee, stop by our office. We'll be sending out that information relatively soon. But again, we help. We have all the information you might want to know about any of our programs. We answer our email pretty quickly. You can call us or you can hop on our Zoom. We have open Zoom hours where you can just jump on and chat with one of us in the office. But yeah, that's everything. For anyone watching the recording, I encourage you to reach out with any questions that you might have. But I am going to stop the recording now.